Hey everyone, it's Dr. J, but you can call me Zack. This is part two in the About Me video series I'm doing this week to provide an unfiltered, unscripted, just story about me and my journey. So this video I wanted to focus on my nursing career and what I've done so far in the medical field and what brought me to where I am now. As I got into college, I started on a wrestling scholarship and I was the lifeguard at that small community college pool. And my boss was really cool. She would let me open the pool in the morning, and I would actually open early and just swim laps in the morning before I started my day, and I loved it. Right after my freshman year, when I was trying to figure out what I was doing in school, I actually got a lifeguarding job at this small local pool in Marion, Illinois. And randomly on the first day met this guy that said he had joined the Air National Guard. They had a signing bonus. You could pick what you would do. They would pay for school. And I was like, sign me up. It just all made sense. I chose a career as a firefighter. That fall, I went to basic training and the fire academy and just really excelled and loved it. And then I got to come home and finish school. After I got back from the fire academy and basic training, I was talking to a friend. Again, this is kind of one of those synchronous random things. And he said, "Hey, I'm going to nursing." And I was like, you know what? I never even thought about that as being something I could do. I would love that. I think that sounds perfect. So I went from being pre-med, not really having direction, not really committing in my classes, really struggling, to nursing. It just clicked. Because I was pre-med, I had most of the classes already done. That's when my grades started going from like barely passing or even failing, because I was working full time and doing all of these other things on top of school, to getting A's. Microbiology, and that was my first A in college because I just was so interested in the science and loved it. I applied to nursing school, and the week after I found out I got accepted, found out I was deploying to Iraq. That put a hiccup in things, but after I came back, I continued my LPN program. I started at the hospital as an ED tech and an orderly. I was actually getting that medical experience, and it really helped in the LPN program. Graduated my LPN program, but still worked at the hospital as an ED tech. And we saw trauma, gunshots, motor vehicle accidents. And I really loved it at that hospital, that multidisciplinary, working with the team and saving lives. It was just such a really profound experience on me. And again, really like that emergency medicine, first responder kind of experience. After that, I applied to RN school, and that's when things shifted. Once I started RN school, I was working in the emergency department at the VA, 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. I would get off work at 2 a.m., sleep for a couple hours, wake up, study, and then go take like a pass fail test in RN school. Everybody knows how that is. And then after class at the end of that next day, then I could really take a nap and sleep for the first time. I really had to hustle to support myself and to study and get through RN school. Took my boards here in Hawaii, and my first RN job was the inpatient behavioral health unit for veterans. Simultaneously, I was volunteering in the emergency department with the American Red Cross, which is an option that people have. And by volunteering, I was able to build up enough experience to then get hired in the emergency department at Tripler Army Hospital while they were getting their trauma designation and becoming a level 2 trauma center. And loved working on that team. It was a really good experience. After Tripler, I actually made a shift. I started working for a hospice agency. I was actually assigned to the largest hospital here in Hawaii, the Queen's Medical Center, working in hospice, which was one of the most rewarding, profound experiences I've ever had. That job, being at that hospital, helped the staff see something in me, and I was hired as a nurse case manager on the trauma team, and eventually moved out of trauma and started working in my current type of role is nursing informatics, performance improvement, quality, a ton of things with data analysis and working with IT, coder, developers, creating apps. And then I also work with the teams on the front line to improve their day-to-day operations and clinical care for their patients. So that actually led me to where I am now. You'll have to follow to get the next video where I'll talk about my entrepreneurship experience and what led from what I'm doing at work in my full-time job to inspiring me to start my own business and move there. Thank you for listening. Again, follow if you like this, you want more, share with your friends. Hopefully you learned something, learning about me and my journey. I'll be excited to share more in the future. Thank you.